My name is Paige, 48 years old. I work at the company that's owned by my father. However, because my father is old already, he's going to be retiring soon. And so, we have a retirement party planned for my father coming up soon. I just finished up some company matters at a client company with my junior colleague, Isaac. And we were at a nearby cafe, having a meeting about the upcoming party. Well then, for the party, we're going to use your connections to invite some band members to play a set. And they're going to get the crowd warmed up. Does that sound okay?
Yes. Leave it to me.
I also heard that Miss Sarah, the manager from Panacore Trading Company, is going to be attending as well. So should I ask her to prepare to sing one song for us? I heard Miss Sarah is really good at singing.
That's a great idea! And then for the very last song, we're going to close down the party with the CEO's rendition of Dragonfly. When he sings Dragonfly, it's probably gonna make me cry.
As you can see, all of the employees at my father's company really look up to my father and respect him. As his daughter, I really treasure my dad, and I admire him. He also gets along well with my husband, Richard, and the two of them go out together on the weekends to go fishing often. And so, I was surrounded by wonderful people, and my life was really peaceful. However, there are all kinds of people in this world. Immediately after meeting at the cafe, I was going to be stuck, having to deal with some awful people. Oh, I'm gonna go use the restroom really quickly. You can go and have a cigarette in the meantime, Isaac. Wait, what's that? In front of the smoking room, there's a really long line.
That's right. The smoking room of this cafe can only take 2 people at once. I usually see a line in here, but I'm fine. Lately, I've been trying to reduce the amount I smoke anyway.
And so I left Isaac at his seat, and I went to the restroom and came back. However, it seemed like the line for the smoking room had gone longer than before. Hey, is it just me? Or are there even more people lined up now?
It seems like the people in there have been using the smoking room for extended periods of time, and they haven't come out. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and have a word with the people that are inside to be more considerate.
What? I think you should just go and tell the cafe employee and leave things like this to them. Wait, Isaac! Oh dear, he's already gone. Isaac is somebody who has a stronger sense of justice than most people. Well, perhaps that's part of what makes him such a trustworthy and reliable associate. From where I was sitting, I could hear Isaac open up the door to the smoking room and could hear his voice.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but there are quite a few people who are lined up for the smoking room. So if you don't mind, could you please open up the room soon?
Isaac politely spoke into the smoking room and bowed down. However,
Excuse you? Who the hell are you? Shut up! Hey, Henry.
You're right. Hey, old man. So what if we're in here? We came into this cafe in the first place because we wanted to smoke here.
That's right. And since they won't let us smoke at our seats, we had no choice but to smoke in here. So shut up and back down.
wow. In times like this, isn't it the standard procedure to just apologize and come outside? And yet, after being spoken to by Isaac, the people that came out of the smoking room were a young man wearing a suit and a young woman in very flashing clothing. They were calling each other Henry and Hannah, but they were also holding hands, so they must be a couple.
I'm very sorry, but everybody else in line feels the same as you, and they're lining up because they would also like to have a smoke. So if we can't be thoughtful...
Excuse you? That's none of my business. It's not our fault that the smoking room in this cafe is so small.
Seriously, if you want to smoke cigarettes that badly, then you can all just go to a different cafe and smoke there.
I see. The type of people that it's useless to try to reason with. While Isaac was speaking with that couple by the smoking room, I quietly went over to the cafe employee and I asked him to please have a word with the couple. And then, the employee went over to the couple and he asked them to please not hog the smoking room to themselves and politely made a request. But
Excuse you? Why do we have to be lectured by all of you?
This is the worst. We're never coming back to this place ever again. Let's go, Henry.
oh, of course you should be lectured, and this cafe is better off if you never come back here ever again anyway. The couple who angrily came out of the smoking room stormed off. On the other hand, the people who were standing in line thanked Isaac. But then, while Isaac was being thanked, that couple came over and sat down at the table directly next to ours. I see. I was wondering why there were 2 cups left behind at a table where nobody was sitting, but that's where they must have been seated. Unfortunately, next to us. I tried to sit still, avoiding eye contact with them, but then
Oh, seriously. What an annoying old man.
I know, right? You know, old men like that, there's no way they'd ever be popular.
and the young couple picked up their cups of coffee that were nearly full, and they tried to take them over to the tray return. However, this woman named Hannah lost her balance and, to my disbelief, the coffee cup that she was holding in her hand splattered all over my suit, as well as the table that I was sitting at. Ah! Hey! Come on! Ugh, this is the worst! On top of the table was all of the material for my father's CEO retirement party, and it was completely soaked brown. However, when this happened, Hannah and Henry looked over at me. The first thing they said was,
Oh no! Oh wait, Hannah! Did you get any on you? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Come on, let's hurry up and get out of a place like this.
well, to be fair, I didn't expect for 1 second that these 2 would apologize to me anyway. I knew it was going to be a pain, so I didn't say anything at all. Instead, I just pulled out a handkerchief from my bag, and I tried to wipe off the coffee that was all over my suit. But then,
Hey, are you not even going to say sorry?
Oh, you're the guy from earlier. Damn it. You've been really annoying me. What's your problem? Oh, I know. Just because you're lonely and you're a loser, you must be jealous of us, isn't that right?
huh?
I see. You were just jealous and you tried to lecture us. How pathetic.
As they said that, they put their coffee mugs back on the return tray and tried to leave. But that was when Isaac stepped in again.
Hey, wait!
He tried to stop the 2 of them, but in a small voice, I called over to Isaac and said, "Stop it! People like that, there's no point in talking to them, so just hold it in for now." When I said that, Isaac seemed to come back to reality, and he finally calmed down. And then he started to wipe off the coffee that Hannah had spilled everywhere. However, then that couple,
Hey, Hannah, look at that. Looks like we hit the nail on the head with that guy. And now he can't say anything back to us.
You're right. It was a nail in the head.
and then they started to make fun of Isaac.
What did you say?
"Isaac, don't entertain them." When I said that, Isaac bit his lip, and he turned around and went back to wiping off the coffee. When the couple saw that, they seemed satisfied. As they finally walked out of the cafe, but Isaac looked angry. When he turned to me and said,
Earlier, I'm terribly sorry for getting too emotional.
"Well, I do think that's one of your strong suits, Isaac."
No, I regret it.
"Well, as for me, if you asked me if I wanted to say something to them, of course, I wanted to yell at them myself, and I could totally understand how Isaac felt. But even if you tried to speak with logic to people like them, they're the type of people who would never understand anyway. So all you could do is stay calm and try to ignore them. However, Little did I know that after this, I wasn't going to be able to stay calm with what was going to happen. On that day, I finished up my meeting at a client company, and I met up with my husband, Richard, at a high-end sushi restaurant. Richard usually works from home, and since the sushi restaurant was nearby my client company, we decided to meet directly there. Actually, on that day, Richard said he was going to celebrate my promotion, and that's why we had reservations to have dinner at such an expensive sushi restaurant. When I arrived there, Richard had already arrived before me.
Hey, Paige! Congratulations on the promotion!
Thanks. Sorry, did I make you wait?
Don't worry about it. More importantly, come on, let's eat sushi.
However, as Richard and I were enjoying our sushi, the sliding door to the restaurant slid open, and then, oh no, these guys. To my shock, Henry and Hannah appeared, laughing at the top of their lungs as they walked into the restaurant. I was so shocked that I froze when...
What's the matter, Paige?
What? Nothing. On that day, perhaps Isaac left quite a strong impression, because the couple seemed like they didn't remember my face at all. The chef directed them to the seats next to us, and the couple sat down as instructed. If we got involved with these guys, the celebration is going to be ruined. That's what I thought, and I did my best to try not to look in that couple's direction.
But you know, it has been a long time since we had some good sushi. I don't think we've been to a restaurant like this probably in years. Have we?
Over the last couple of years, I was so busy with my job that we didn't even have time to go out to eat together.
But today, since I know how hard you're working every single day, I really wanted you to enjoy it. You know, every now and then, I think it's good to let loose and eat a lot of sushi like this.
But then at that moment, suddenly, the couple sitting next to us started to giggle.
Yeah, I heard.
Apparently they haven't been to a restaurant like this in years.
They must be so poor. How sad for them. Unlike someone like you, Henry, who was born to celebrity parents and was able to get a job at such a major company. You can come here as much as you want.
Hey, don't talk about my parents!
I can't believe they disowned us like that. Well, since I was at least able to get a job at a major company, all I have to do is get promoted there.
And I'm going to show them.
Aw, that's right. Look at this old man and old woman, even though they're so old. How sad for them.
Seriously, I definitely don't want to become an embarrassing old man like that. Can't believe they're happy over some sushi. Those peasants.
Hey, old lady, why are you with such a sad, good-for-nothing guy like that? Is that your husband?
My husband, Richard, who I loved very much. How dare you talk about him like that? Oh, you're going to pay for this. Even though he went out of his way to make a reservation at a fancy restaurant like this to celebrate with me, I felt so bad about this. I thought my head was going to explode from anger. And so, while gritting my teeth, I started to think about how I could damage these two. However, at that moment... Wait, ever since these two got here, they've been talking about being part of some major company or something, but the cafe that I ran into was right around here as well, so as I think as a test, I decided to ask this question. May I ask what company you work at?
Oh, please, old lady. You're really gonna ask Henry that?
It's called Panikori Trading Company. You know it, right? It's a super major company.
I thought so. That was when I grinned from ear to ear. We just finished eating our sushi, so we got the bill, and Richard and I walked out of the restaurant. And then, the moment that we got outside, Richard and I could no longer hold it in. And we burst out into laughter because that couple, they're seriously so stupid that we couldn't help but laugh. And then, a few days after that, Isaac and I were heading towards our client company together. And as we were walking down the hallway,
Wait a minute. You?
there he was, the young guy from that couple, Henry. That's right, we were at Panicore Trading Company.
Hey, what's the peasant old lady doing here? Whoa, and that loser old man from the cafe the other day is also here.
But then, right at that moment, welcome, Miss Page, Mr. Isaac. This woman, Miss Sarah, who was a high-up manager at Panicore Trading Company, as Miss Sarah walked over to me, she politely bowed down to me and said,
Miss Page, congratulations on taking the seat as CEO.
That's what she said. But then, behind her,
CEO?
and then I turned over to Henry and said nonchalantly, "Oh, aren't you?" And I spoke directly to him.
No way. The old lady is a CEO? I thought you were a peasant.
Hey, old lady, peasant? Henry, what on earth are you saying to Miss Page? See?
Because at the sushi restaurant, she kept saying things that only a peasant would say.
Miss Page, I'm terribly sorry about this. Miss Page here is the CEO of our biggest partner company. You need to bow down immediately.
Biggest partner company? That means bigger than our company.
How dare you! I heard that you put on an act during your interview, but then because you were accepted into our company, you've been getting carried away. And you've been causing so many problems. Now hurry up, bow down to Miss Page right now!
Yes, ma'am.
That was when Miss Sarah went over and put Henry's head underneath her hand and forced it down towards me. Interesting. You're an employee that's causing a lot of problems. That makes sense. In this neighborhood lately, I had the opportunity to run into this young man twice already, but he's been saying some very problematic things. Isn't that right, Isaac?
What?
Because how was I supposed to know that she was the CEO of a client company?
Regardless of whether I'm CEO or not, and that situation, it's given that you should apologize, isn't it? Do you understand, Mr. Henry?
Ah!
And by the way, the other day, when I was at the sushi restaurant with my husband, we were actually celebrating my promotion to CEO. But then you and your partner were laughing at us, calling me and my husband peasants, and saying you felt sorry for us. Miss Sarah, what do you think about that?
What? Henry!
That was when Miss Sarah had even more force on her arm, and Henry's body was pushed further and further down to the ground. Because of the commotion, there was a crowd of people around us. And the CEO of Panicore Trading Company also arrived. Henry was on his knees, apologizing to me. And then a few days later, he showed up at my company and
I'm terribly sorry.
he said, apologizing with tears in his eyes.
Please, I was finally able to get a job at Panicore Trading Company, but I was told that until I have your forgiveness, Miss Page, I'm not allowed back at the company. Hannah said, my girlfriend said, that she doesn't need a guy like me if I don't have a good job.
Interesting. Isn't that tough? This was when I put on a serious face and glared at Henry. Please leave. And that was all I said. That was when I told the secretary to kick Henry out of our office.
Wait, please wait! Please forgive me!
Crying and screaming, Henry was picked up by our security and thrown outside. After that, I heard that Henry was fired from Panicore Trading Company. Well, apparently, he had been causing a lot of problems already. For the record, Hannah ended up breaking up with Henry, and the relationship fell apart. She must have thought there was no value to a guy that wasn't working at a major company. However, not long after that, I heard that Hannah was arrested for a marriage scam when I was surfing the internet for news that day, and I was shocked when I suddenly saw a picture of Hannah being taken in by police. When I went on social media to do a quick search on Hannah, I found some quick posts by people who said they'd known Hannah. Ever since she was a student, she's always liked men and liked money, and they had posted that she had always been a rude person. After that, Henry came to my office again and apologized down to me. According to what he told me, Henry still hasn't been able to find a new job, and he had to move into a rundown apartment, and every day he's running between part-time jobs. I'm sure that guy was desperate to go back to Panic Core Trading Company, but of course, I wasn't going to forgive him. Well then, on the other hand, as for me, now that I was the CEO of the company, I've been a little bit busy. But Richard is supporting me, and I'm working hard every day. Just the other day, I'm home. Whew, I'm exhausted.
Welcome home. Here, I made your favorite dish, Paige. It's omu rice.
Wow, it even has my favorite sauce on it. Richard, you really are so good at cooking. I'm the luckiest girl.
And I'm also the luckiest guy. Every day that I get to spend with you, Paige, I love it. We've both been so busy that we haven't been able to go out to eat. But in return, I promise I'm going to make something delicious every single day for you and feed you.
Anyways, glad everything worked out. Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!